very good afternoon to you. My name is Alex Nyman. I'm bringing you Jazz Club this afternoon. It's just gone 12 o'clock. It's actually Tuesday, not Wednesday. This is going to be a pre-recorded show, mainly because my dear wife has asked me to free up the Waitangi Day so that we can all go out as a family and do sort of family things. So I hope you don't mind that too much, and I'm looking forward to bringing this show to you. We're going to kick off with a track called Web Web, Dance of the Demons, and this is by Mayte. So that was Mayte there with Web Web Dance of the Demons. More about that I really can't tell you, simply because it's the first time I've ever heard that track, and it's certainly the first time I've ever heard of Mayte. I'm not even too sure who Mayte is. Could be the saxophone player, could be the band leader. I don't know. Could be, he could be the saxophone player and the band leader. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't have enough time to sort of check all these things out. But anyway, as long as the music's good, I guess that's the most important thing, right? So that's anyway. So Mayte, Web. And coming up, I've got kind of a real kind of hodgepodge of stuff here today. Some actually got quite a few tracks by Wayne Shorter, one of my favourite saxophone players. Saxophone player with Miles Davis back in the early '60s, and took over from John Coltrane, in fact, and been a veritable tour de force in music over the last sort of 50 years or 60 years, I guess, something like that. Anyway, let's move on. It's a beautiful day outside, as I say. It's Tuesday today, so I'm pre-recording this show, so you will be watching it on the Wednesday, if you're watching it, or listening to it at least on the Wednesday. And remember, it does go out on the Thursday at 7:30 as well. Repeat, it's 7:30 p.m. and it actually goes out on YTV, free to view, Wairarapa TV, and Channel 41. And that is at 12, 5 and 11 p.m. And that goes out on Thursday. So you can watch the show if you want to. Then you can see me sitting here talking to you and making use of this wonderful television environment that we have here at Arrow FM 92.7. I had a very interesting chat last night with Nick Tippin, who does I was doing a rehearsal with him down in Wellington. And Nick is the presenter of, I think the program's called Inside Out. And it's jazz and classical program that Nick runs down in Wellington for RNZ, and he was talking about having a little link up with me with this show. So we're going to be working on that over the next wee while, and I'm not too sure what format that's going to take, but we'll work on it and we'll get it back and we'll get out and we'll get it to you, and we'll see what happens. It should be fun, nevertheless, whatever happens. Nick is a wonderful chap, and he's also an extremely very fine bass player indeed. And I really enjoyed the rehearsal with him last night, and we're actually playing together Cobblestones in Greytown on the 16th of February at roughly about sort of 5-6 o'clock, I think it is. It's part of the jazz. It's actually the main event at Jazz Cobblestones in Greytown, and that's going to be with Zach Dickfert who's going to be he's the band leader. It's called the Zach Pack, and he's the band leader, as I say. And we've got Anita Schraber on piano, Lance Phillip on drums, Nick Tipping on bass, and me on saxophones and bits and pieces. Okay, let's move on. De la Habana y otras nostalgias. This is the name of this particular track. Now, I have no idea. I mean, I can sort of guess. I'm going to guess what that means, and then I'm going to get Veronica later when she comes back. Being half Spanish, she will know. De la Habana y otras nostalgias. I'm thinking that kind of means like in the house of our memories. We'll see. Anyway, she'll tell me for sure. Okay, so this is Omar Sosa and Ilian Canazares and De la Habana y otras nostalgias.
Se rompen y se pierden en el mar los sueños apegados, y en la noche siento eco de tristezas. Huele a Azucena. Desnuda y silenciosa soledad, el viento del mar causa por las calles y ha venido a posarse aquí en mi pecho. Cuando sientas el perfume de mi Habana, nada será igual que antes, cuando el alma entre sollozos te reclama. Que solo importa el amor y sus matices, como un disparo de besos, de suspiros que se quedan empapados de sudor. Cuando sientas el perfume de mi Habana, nada será igual que antes, cuando el alma se te parta en el instante en que le dices adiós con los ojos empapados Y aunque todo es imperfecto, nada impide que me quede por adentro con nostalgia de mi Habana. El amor y sus matices, y aunque todo es imperfecto, nada impide que me quede por adentro con nostalgia de mi Habana, de mi Habana. Desnuda y silenciosa soledad, el viento del mar causa por las calles y tú te vas de mí y tú te vas de aquí.
That was Wayne Shorter there with Adventures Aboard the Golden Mean, a live version. You could hear they were all clapping away there. And that was from the album called Emanon. And before that, you heard Lila Habana y Otras Nostalgias and by Omar Sosa and Yilian Kianajaresh. Probably something like that. Anyway, I'm sure Veronica's going to slap my wrist terribly when she comes in and hears that I've been pronouncing things so incredibly wrong. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's move on. I've got a track coming up now. This is by Stu Minderman, and it's called Woven Threads for Violeta Parra. Now, I have to just say one thing right now, and I've made this mistake before and I'm absolutely never going to make it again, where suddenly somebody might be bursting in, rapping and using all sorts of odd language that we don't really want to hear. So I'm going to keep my ear finely attuned to everything that's going on with this, and as long as I can tell that there's no words being spoken, but with a title like Woven Threads for Violeta Parra, who knows what might happen. I tell you what, let's play it and let's find out.
What word could I tell you that would reach your heart with the force of death's voice, reaching for the ill, lording over all. Resonance of my painted soul.
And that was the Quang Vu Quartet. Quang Vu being the trumpet player, and the name of that track was "All That's Left of Me Is You." And before that, you heard Nitai Hershakovitz and playing his track Annette and Isaac. And before that, Stu Minderman, I think is a piano player, and that particular track was featuring Miguel Zanon on alto saxophone and Kurt Elling on vocals. And Kurt I've worked with a few years ago when he came over to New Zealand. He's an extremely nice guy and a very, very, very gifted vocalist. A really, really beautiful voice in that real kind of Sinatra kind of style, but with a very sort of contemporary edge to what he does. And he's always kind of, really kind of pushing the boundaries a little bit in terms of compositions with other people and what he's doing, in terms of his vocals. It's a really, really interesting approach. And we can also do, great straight ahead standards and stuff as well. It's fantastic. He's a very, very versatile player, musician, I should say, a singer. Okay, so how are we doing? Yeah, so only got half an hour into the program, and I'm blistering through the playlist. I'm just going to flick through. Yeah, still got quite a few tracks to go, and that's all good because I've got about an hour and 20 minutes or so in which to play them. So the less I talk, the more you can listen. Okay, this is Eric Howland and Contrast. was Theon Cross there from his album Thea, and the track was called Panda Village. And before that you heard Eric Harland, saxophonist, and that particular track was called Contrast. And moving on, I just got my coffee ready, and I always like a little coffee during the show just to keep me pepped up, and not that I'm wide awake anyway, of course, which of course I am, and but it's just nice to have a little sort of turn of refreshment during the course of the show. As I say, it's a beautiful day outside today. I'm sure you would have probably remember that, being that when you see the show, it'll be Wednesday. Kind of feeling that the weather might well be exactly the same tomorrow. So let's hope for the Waitangi day that it is. And it's absolutely blisteringly hot outside. It's just glorious, I guess, in many respects, other than the fact that fortunately at home we're on the bore water, so as well as the town water supply. So that's good. We get all the drinking water from the town supply, but we're very lucky to have the bore water there, and for that we don't go too crazy with it, but it's just nice to keep the old got quite a few plants and bits and pieces around the place that we need to keep well watered. And it always amazes me that the only things that darn well grow are the weeds, and it doesn't matter whether it's blisteringly hot or freezing cold. They always seem to grow, don't they? Quite amazing. There must be. I must do a little bit of research on that. I'd love to know why it is that weeds grow and the other ones don't, and the other ones all die, as it were. So I have to do a little bit of research on that when I get home today, I think. Right, coming up now then, I have Rosie Turton. This is a Herbie Hancock number. It's called Butterfly. That was Rosie Turton there with her band Rosie's Five, or that was the name of the album. Pardon me. And the track was a Butterfly, a very old well-known Herbie Hancock number. In fact, I played it not so long ago myself with a fabulous trio over at Mesita in Martinborough. I don't know if you've been to Mesita over in Martinborough. It's that little place that used to be the Ohio Wine Bar on Ohio Street, and they've got a wonderful little courtyard outside, and Hayden and Alice that run the place out, they do a fantastic job. And every once in a while they get to they put music on there, and I was over there in fact last Saturday with a trio with Callum Riach and Ben Stewart on keyboards, and we had a really good evening. It was great. It's very intimate. It's quite loud, but nobody seems to mind too much, and there's a lot of people dancing and all sorts of stuff, so it was really good fun. And I'm sure we'll be doing something out there again. So if you get a chance, pop over to Mesita in Martinborough and pop in and say hi to Hayden and Alice. They do a fantastic job over there. They do great food, Mexican food, sort of like tapas, Spanish, and yeah, it's and great cocktails as well. Judging what I saw, I don't actually drink when I'm playing, so I could just look at everybody else's and lick my lips and think how wonderful that will be, how wonderful it will be tasting. And of course, by the time I get home at night, probably about 11:45, the most I can do is actually sort of maybe get down half a little beer, and then I'm off to bed. Gone are the days when I'd be up until 3 a.m. drinking all sorts of things. Those days are over, fortunately, because I'm a responsible father with 2 young children and a beautiful wife. So I've got stuff to do. Anyway, especially in the mornings. Anyway, so let's move on. Now, you probably would remember, not just before that last track, I was talking about the weeds in the garden. Why do they grow? Well, my very good friend and the boss of the station here, Michael Wilson, my dear old father always used to say, no sooner a word than a blow, came through with this a little snippet from Gerard Manley Hopkins, and it's from his poem Inversnade, and the lines go like like this. Here we go. What would the world be once bereft of wet and of wildness? Let them be left, oh let them be left, wildness and wet. Long live the weeds, long live the weeds, long live the weeds and the wilderness yet. Well, as you can see, he quite liked them, and so do I. In fact, as I was saying to Michael, I've got a great big section in the garden at home, which is nothing but wild weeds and all sorts of wonderful things. And it's the most amazing place just to see sort of things growing there, and it changes on a monthly basis. You know, things grow and the grasses get really tall and they die away, and then some other bits, and there's things growing in there that I've never seen before. Quite amazing. Along with all, it's not just all weeds. I mean, we do have some nice plants, but at least you don't have to water them. That's good. They just seem to exist, and they do a wonderful thing. And as my children were saying the other day, I think maybe to long live the weeds in the wilderness. Yeah, I think maybe you could include the flies as well. And my wife always explains that when people come round to the house, to sort of say, if they're staying for any length of time, she always say, whatever you do, don't kill anything in the house, flies, whatever, just leave them, because I'm quite hot on not killing flies, and I think they do a fantastic job in the world, and my wife has often found me escorting, cupped in a hand, escorting a fly out of the house because it couldn't get out of the window. There are occasions when I have resorted to perhaps banging one on the head occasionally, but that's only because, generally speaking, I've been half asleep and one comes in the room, and they're sort of like you're just nodding off to sleep, and it goes zzz, zzz. It's really really annoying, ain't it? And she says, "Oh, what am I going to do?" Or it's like 1 o'clock in the morning and there's a fly in the room. Yep, that's when they've got to go, unfortunately, but they do a fantastic job. Where would we be without the flies and the bees and the weeds and the wilderness yet? And let's leave everything where it is, because that's a good thing. All right, I should have been a poet. Okay, now let's move on. I've got Stardust now, and I don't have Stardust. I've got Stardust to play for you, and this is by Greg Ward and the Rogue Parade, and it is Greg Ward presents Rogue Parade, and he's playing Stardust. Let's have a listen. So that was The Man's Gone There. That was featuring Lionel Luecki. That was I've just been helping Michael put some little bits and pieces up on the ceiling now, and I've kind of lost where I was in my sequence. Okay, so that was with Jeff Ballard and The Man's Gone. That was a track called The Man's Gone. Before that, you heard Wayne Shorter. That was another live track from his album, and that particular track was called Orbits. And before that, you heard Nanga and Here Voila. What else have we got? Well, I've got another track coming up from Jeff Ballard, actually. We'll do that one now. And then I've got another track after that. But I'll just play this last one from Jeff. It's not too long. It's only about 3 minutes and 50 seconds or so. And if I look a little bit hot and sweaty, it's because I've been helping Michael put stuff up on the ceiling. It's quite warm in here today. All right, so this is Cherokee Rose, Jeff Ballard. So that was Cherokee Rose there from... Sorry, I'm laughing. Michael's in the studio. It's so funny. Okay, that was Jeff Ballard, and I better play the next track before I laugh too much. I won't be able to talk. This is by a British saxophone player, English. It's a guy called Mark Lockhart. He's been around longer than I have, which is quite amazing. he's really old. He's a great player, and this is he's always been part of the kind of like the sort of like alternative jazz scene in the UK, and I think what was the name of one of his groups, the Hot House Plants. That's right. Really, really excellent player. Have a listen to this. This much I know is true. It's Wayne Shorter there playing Mir, and that's off that live album I was playing before. The album is actually called Without a Net, and I think that was probably the last number of the set that they did that particular night, and just shows you that somebody of Wayne's age must be about 74, 75, maybe even a little bit older than that, still has the kind of the inner energy to play like that. So it's quite amazing, really is, and it's such a fantastic sound as well. And before that, you heard Julian Lage with Tomorrow Is the Question. Okay, I've got about time for one more track coming up now, and I'm going to play a track by Time Grove, and it's called Jungle Bourgeois. It's been a real pleasure, as always, to play this beautiful music to you. I do hope you've enjoyed the programme. I hope you have a wonderful Waitangi Day. Of course, you'll be halfway through it by the time you listen to this. Or you might be listening to it on Thursday, in which case it's already happened. So whatever that happens, whatever the day brings you, I hope it's a wonderful one. I hope it's full of peace and love. And I will see you hopefully next Wednesday, around about the same time, 12:30 to 2:30 here on Arrow FM 92.7. And see you soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.